Okay, so a few days ago, I found out about this artist named Woody.395 on Instagram. I saw him one day and I looked at his art. To be honest, it really interests me. I really like his art style. I really like the way he draws his own characters. Except he does kind of do some NSW, but now these days he doesn't anymore. At least I think. And he's made a bunch of OCs and has a girlfriend that was called Sudi.396, who's also meant to be like his female counterpart in some way. But nonetheless, I decided to follow him. But all I know is he is a pretty cool artist. But that was until I saw something very grotesque on his Instagram page that I don't know if I can believe is real or not. Anyways, might as well tell the story. One day, I was scrolling through his Instagram, seeing some of his art. It was around 10 p.m. and I was about to go to sleep. But before I left, I saw this Instagram post he made that was called Fear the Prince of Hell. It looked terrifying, but it still looked pretty cool. I decided to like it and then go to bed. But for some reason, I woke up around 3 in the morning. I realized it's because my phone went off. A notification said, Woody.395 posted. What the fuck? How does he post at 3 in the morning? I still decided to check the notification and saw that when I went on his page, all his posts were gone. Only one post remained. It was that same Fear the Prince of Hell drawing he did, but it looked different. Instead of the eyes being glowing yellow, they were dark and pitch black, and there was only these red lights shining from them. And in the background, instead of normal skeletons being burnt in the fire, I saw Mark, Wendy, even Sudi was in the background. And instead of the caption saying the picture was called Fear the Prince of Hell, it said Godpophis 395. While I was confused of why he remade the drawing, I found more strange that all his posts were missing. I refreshed my page, but all his posts were still gone. I thought this was just some glitch, so I decided to turn off my phone and go back to bed. But that picture that I saw on his Instagram kept popping up in my head. After that, my phone went off again. Another notification said that he posted once again. Is this a dream? Am I going delusional? Since when did he start posting at this time? I decided to check my phone again, only to see that there was a new post with 3 new drawings. And when I clicked on it, I almost pooped my pants as soon as I saw these pictures. The first one was of Mark and Wendy. They both seemed to be dead in a forest, and their motorcycle was crashed in a tree. But that wasn't even half of it. Wendy's guts were all over the place. Mark was hanging by a tree, and Wendy's body parts were all over the place. The creepy part was, it didn't even look like 395 even drew it. It looked way too real. I swiped to see the next picture, only to see Sodi dead as well. She was stitched up, her head was decapitated, and she was bleeding. And just like the Mark and Wendy drawing, it looked way too real. I almost wanted to throw up. Then I swiped one last time, and Lucy was in the last picture. But she didn't look like how she normally did. She looked like she was screaming in pain, and she was a gray color rather than her normal light blue color. And just like the last two, the picture looked way too realistic. And it almost looks like she was dying. But that didn't make sense because she was already a ghost. Then I looked at the caption and it said, "You're gonna end up just like them." Someone has to be playing a fucking game on me. What is happening? I was actually scared after reading that. So I decided to try to power off my phone so I wouldn't have to see any more of these notifications. But before I did, I saw that somehow his bio changed. And instead of it saying what it normally said, it said, "I'm watching you." Then after I read that, I heard a very creepy laugh coming from the forest that was near my house. I looked out my window and I saw these two bright red eyes shining, looking at me. I started to shake in fear, and the more I looked at it, it seemed to get closer and closer. Then I started to see these two giant claws, these two flapping wings, and two big red horns. It was him. He was coming for me. The last thing I remember was a deep voice saying,
"You're mine, Joseph."